Welcome to Slick TV. This week I've got Rachel K Collier on, a singer-songwriter and beatmaker from Swansea. Hiya, how are you?
Good, thank you, Billy.
So could you just tell us a bit about yourself and why you decided to get into music?
Yeah, sure. So I've been probably writing songs since I was about 12 years old. Just started like copying things from the TV and just had a real love for melodies and harmonies and taking things and looping on my tape player, and then sort of alongside making songs and playing the piano, I always used to like going out dancing and things like that. And as I've grown up a bit, I've tried to do my best and combine the two. So like a really good song and melodies, harmonies and nice music with a good groove. So
Something to dance to.
Something to move to, yeah. Not necessarily go bonkers to, but you know, just a little something.
Shuffle.
But yeah, a little shuffle, you know, not sort of sit there and cry, that type of thing. It's more, yeah. But I do like to have thought-provoking lyrics, actually. So, and sometimes it's kind of hard to get that into, like, dance-based stuff, because the lyrics are quite, like, yeah, thought-provoking, but with a big dancey beat, so you've got to be quite careful how you combine the two. So that's what I'm trying to do.
That leads quite nicely into my next question. What is the aim of your music? To create, like, a thought-provoking, like a social commentary type thing with singer-songwriter? Or is it do more of, like, a feel-good, happy dancing music?
Well, because I write for quite a lot of different artists as well, as in DJs and producers, and I do features with them. So with them, it's kind of go with what they want. But very much for my story, I like to tell like personal stories and events that have happened to me. So and then, you know, realistically, not everything in life is feel good. So some might not be so up and, you know, but obviously the good things that happen to me, I'll write about them as well. So my story is very sort of personal, but I wouldn't say that it was typically feel good. Like I said before, it's stories. So like that have happened and events, and tried to say them in cool ways that people can sing along to.
So what kind of music can we see on your debut EP? Is it going to be a mixture of the two, or is it just going to be one or t'other?
It is actually a mix of like groove-based stuff, but I didn't want to just have like slamming beats the whole way through it, because you know at the end of the day I do just come back and play the piano and sing. And so I've got one stripped back song on there actually, which again is another story, and maybe that's a bit more, but it ends up coming on with like an African beat like towards the end. I couldn't resist.
You can't resist.
I was like, I start with this shaker, and then you'd be like, get to like djembe in it or something, and I was like, whatever, I'll just put a beat on there. But it's not so, as because the other grooves are most groove you can link it to is like a housey groove.
Okay.
But so two of them are actually quite housey, and they're quite sort of more up. But there's definitely, I think there's a good mix on there of content and musical content and lyrical content actually. Okay,
so what are you listening to on your iPod right now?
I was listening to this cool like little Canadian duo called New Look. Like the clothes shop, yeah. But it's really cool. I did a session the other day with a really great singer. I was writing with him, and he was like, have you heard... He was actually from Swansea as well. He was like, have you heard this music? Because I played in because I did a bootleg of Drake, the Hold On, Go Home.
Yeah.
And he was like, this reminds me of this. And he played it. And it's quite wacky kind of... electronic Canadian duo, girl and a boy. So I've just been listening to that. And there's also this guy, I don't know how to pronounce his name, really cool, this guy called Rodino. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but he's got this, girl, you got me playing with fire, like, wow, wow, wow. So it's cool. And he's got a lyric in it, right? He goes, I'm like I'm off to a flame. And one of my songs on the EP is... like I'm off to a flame, like, you know, always being tempted and going back to something you shouldn't really, So,
okay, you've got the musical signs on your iPod or what have you, got play, fast forward, and what have you. Which one do you reckon would best describe you?
Fast forward.
Always moving.
Yes.
Well, it comes out in your music, you can't help putting beats in.
Yeah, I know. Kind of a hindrance sometimes, because I just want to just make beats instead. I DJ a bit as well with one of my mates, so but I think we'll do some stuff that's completely separate and kind of like have no vocals in it at all one day. get around to that as well, so I can separate them completely.
Who would be your most unusual collaboration? Like something that someone wouldn't think of?
Unusual collaboration. You know what? You know that, have you ever heard of Nitin Sawhney? He's like an Indian film composer.
No.
But he's made like some really cool soundtracks. Like, I can't even think of the top of my head. But he's just a super cool film composer, but he makes the best like Indian kind of beats and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think I saw the other day he did a tune with somebody, and I thought, whoa, I love him. Yeah, Nitin Sawhney, you should check him out. It's interesting, it's cool stuff, you know, like, because I don't know why, but I've like drawing on sort of worldly influences somewhere in my songs if I can. So it might come out in the vocal sounds I use and stuff as well, because we did a lot of African kind of things, and when I was in choir growing up.
Okay.
I think that does come across in some of my songs.
You try and put everything like all the inspirations, doesn't matter where it's from, in your music.
Yeah, and I don't do it consciously. It'll just pop in there, and I'll be like, oh, and then I'll think, oh, I wonder where I got that from. So I don't like think, oh, I need to find that sound. It's more, It just happens, and then you go, oh, right, I'm obviously inspired by like worldly sounds.
So what drives your passion for music? What is it that pushes you forward?
It pushes me forward. I don't think there's anything better than just sitting there with my headphones on, just making a groove, and when it comes together, I just feel like a bit of an idiot because I'm on my own, but it really gets me going. Sometimes I stand up and have a little dance in my room, but yeah, that feeling, I think, when you combine like your chords and your bass and the vocal, and then the lyric and the vocal, it's just, there's no other feeling really that gets to me.
Just think, I made that.
Yeah, it's a nice feeling. I'm very addicted to it. It's like, it's not a job, you know, at all. Yeah. It's a life. So, and it's the choice I made.
Okay, so when I do these interviews, I kind of scroll back on people's Twitters just to find something quite funny or embarrassing. There's a couple which I've picked up on which I think quite interesting. And on September the 8th last year, you said, "Can you get pulled over for a dirty, stinking car?" Can you go and tell me about that?
Oh no. I'm trying to think. To be honest, my car is not the best. If you saw it inside, it is a bit embarrassing. It is a clear at the moment actually, but usually, because I'm a singer, so you know, you need to stay hydrated, don't you? So I do long drives, obviously back to Swansea. So I'll have a bottle of water, maybe 2, 3, 4, whatever, Coke, and I never stop to empty it. So there's been a few times when people have got in my car and it's like up to their knees. You know?
Oh wow.
Yeah, but it's not too bad at the moment. The floor is covered, but it's not too high. So it's all right.
It's under control.
It's a bit under control. But my bedroom is tidy, don't get me wrong. It's just the car. But, you know, you only go in it to drive to a location. You don't have to look at it for long, do you? So.
True, very true.
Yeah.
And reading on your Twitter, you kind of have a love-hate relationship with your neighbours.
Oh,
can you tell me about that?
Clock.
Or the loud music, or them playing their TV too loud.
Oh my gosh.
Or arguing.
I've actually moved, but the house before I was in, the one above me, you could hear every single word. It was just like, and there'd be like, also, there's like about 3 kids above there, so it'd be like all stomping, and trying to do recording, and then, and for some reason, I think it's just London, there's builders everywhere. At the moment, I feel like I'm being stalked by that, you know, the doing the paving slabs. I've got like 3 houses on my street that are doing that right now, and it's like, how can you record like when you got the paving slab? Yeah.
You should record it and then remix that.
No, I know. I should incorporate it, make it as the bass, and pitch shift it down. Somebody did that actually with a snare. They recorded a tin shack the other day, elbowed it, and put the snare in a song. But I'm not quick enough to do that yet.
No.
No.
Okay, then can you tell me what you love about music in 3 words?
I like the way it makes me move. In 3 words. Does that? I was more. Moving.
Movement.
These are gonna be rubbish. Movement. Emotion. What else? I can't think. Movement, emotion, and also like. I like the way it makes you. There's a lyric actually. Someone says, "When I clap my hands, it's like medicine." Kind of just frees you from, makes you feel free from all the other...
From all the other problems.
Yeah, kind of frees your mind, and especially if you just put some headphones on sometimes and lie down, close your eyes, and it's just you and the music.
Okay.
Yeah, so free, I'd say, yeah.
Free. No
Yeah.
worries.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you very much.
No worries.